Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back to another video. I am Ninth House Jupiter, and today we're going to be looking at Venus in Leo, and we're going to have a look at what you might value, what you might need in a relationship to feel fulfilled, and how you are in a relationship, and also what your relationship with money might be like. If you've got this placement, it's really important to have a good understanding of what Venus is actually all about and what Leo is all about. So Leo, this is the male fixed fire sign that's ruled by the sun, and Venus, let's have a look at Venus. Venus represents our values. It represents peace and harmony. It's got very much a lustful energy to it as well, actually. It's, of course, a relationship indicator of what we need. It's not the only thing in a chart that we look at in terms of relationships, but it is a really good indicator. And it's also a money indicator on how we might make money in this lifetime. And it's also very much about how we relate to people. Venus is how we relate. Why do we like what we like? That is your Venus sign. So the fifth house in the birth chart, this is where Leo rules, in the fifth house. Fifth house is about children, dating, romance, creative expression. This is the fun house. This is the house of fun. The sun rules here. And of course the sun, what would we do without the sun? The sun gives life to billions of people, billions of species of animals, nature, everything. The sun is a very powerful force. It commands our attention. Our day starts when the sun comes up. What would we do without the sun, guys? And this is the energy that we've got leading over Leo. You do need to take into consideration your house placements. What house is your Venus in? And how is that aspected? What does that look like? Because this is going to be really important to have a better understanding of your Venus sign, because a Venus conjunct Saturn, for example, will be very different to a Venus conjunct Jupiter. And in terms of the house placements, if your Venus is in the 4th, 8th or 12th house, and these are more private houses, you might not relate as much or be so sort of Leo, loud and proud type vibes. But this is why it's important to look and have a note at your chart. You should never look at just one placement anyway, guys. You should always look at everything in context. So this is just going to be a general look into what it's like to be a Venus in Leo. And if you are a Venus in Leo, then it's going to make you one of 5 sun signs. So you're either going to be a Gemini sun, a Cancer sun, a Leo sun, a Virgo sun, or a Libra sun. And I will do a bit of a breakdown of those different combinations later on in the video. Check the timestamps. But for now, let's get into it. What's it like to be a Venus in Leo? One of the things you're going to value most in this lifetime is having values, full stop. Altogether, just having values and a moral compass, having strong morals and a firm belief system. And this firm belief system and morals usually manifest out into you having high expectations that you hold yourself up to, and you hold other people up to high expectations as well. And that's because this is sun energy that we're talking about here. You guys are used to being seen, used to having the spotlight on you. Therefore, you've got a lot of pride, and you do care about your ego because you do care how you're seen. You want to be seen in a good light, the sun. So you also like to have value going out and having a laugh and having a good time, not taking things too seriously. So you like, Leo is definitely a jokey energy, you know, jokesters, pranksters. There's a bit of childishness that comes along with it because it is a fire Venus. It's a trait with all the sort of fire signs, an element of childishness or being childlike. You also value being able to spend money on things that you want to have a good time, to really enjoy yourself. You really value those close to you. Someone's got your heart. They have got your heart. You are a romantic at heart, literally. We're talking about the 5th house of romance here with Venus, the planet of relationships. So you are a romantic at heart and love being in love, but you're very, very protective over those that you love. It's quite a trait really with Leo's being very protective. Actually, also my video I've just done, Venus in Cancer, they're very protective over ones they love, and this is a similar trait that you guys carry too. You also might value expressing yourself and in a creative manner as well, because we're talking about the house of creative expression. So you like to say what you want to say, you want to express what you want to express, and you want people around you who are comfortable to deal with that, because Leo is quite a loud and proud energy. You know, when a Leo archetype has walked in a room, you know, if there's a group of children playing, it doesn't take long to spot the child with prominent Leo placements because they're one of the louder children and usually being in charge, organising the games, becoming the boss instantly. Let's have a look now what it's like for a Venus in Leo when they get into a relationship, what you can expect from them, or if you've got this placement, what you need to feel fulfilled in a relationship. Now, each person's Venus sign is going to express differently depending on, of course, their whole chart, but mainly as well because of the sun sign. The sun is the expression, so depending on where your sun is, it's going to express differently and play out a little bit differently, but as a rule, you're going to be attracted to Leo type relationships and Leo type people. So as I just said a minute ago, you guys love romantics at heart. When you're with somebody, you are with somebody, you give them your whole heart and warmth. The fifth house also represents the heart, so you've got a lot of heart and soul that you put into a relationship. And because it's a fire Venus that we're talking about here, second fire Venus that I'm talking about, there is an element of physical attraction that's required when you are looking for a potential mate. You will be drawn in initially. The initial attraction is going to be on how somebody looks. Now, Leo, this is the opposite sign to Aquarius. You guys like someone who stands out in the crowd. You wouldn't really want to be with somebody or pick out someone that you think just anybody could have. Oh, no, not for Venus in Leo. You like someone to be a little bit special, stand out from the crowd, as I said, be unique, but dress well, smell nice, because appearance is quite an important thing for you, because when you are in a relationship, as we'll discuss as we get later on, you like to go out and about with your partner, so you don't want someone bringing down your style, you know, bringing down your vibe. You want someone to level you up, you know. So some of the things that you might look for initially is just how someone looks and how they dress, because you want them to kind of complement you. Because this is a fire Venus, there's an element of passion that's needed in relationships, because when you're in a relationship, you like to show a lot of passion and you definitely want to receive that back. As I said, romantic at heart with this placement. You love and you want to feel a warm feeling inside. That's very important, because the energy that you give to somebody is you brighten up their day, you brighten up a room, you make them feel warm and cozy inside, and that's kind of what you're looking for in return. But this is also a fixed Venus. It is a fixed Venus sign, so with that, there's going to be an element of stubbornness to your personality, and may have found you've attracted stubborn people around you in your lifetime. But you know, stubborn gets stubborn. Stubborn does understand stubborn energy. But there is also an element of obsessiveness that comes with the fixed signs as well. So can be quite obsessive actually when you do fall in love and you are in a relationship. You might be the type of person that sort of showers somebody with compliments and gifts and gestures, because you can fixate on what you want. When it comes to a relationship, you can have endurance. You're here for the long term. This isn't someone who's here for just a quick 5-minute fling. No, you kind of really are looking for the fairy tale, more idealistic type of relationship, because we are talking about Venus in Leo here, and things can be a little bit over the top with the Leo archetype. The element is still fire, and with fire comes a level of sensitivity. You might not always think that, but fire signs are sensitive. They definitely do have a sensitive side, so just watch out for that, because these people, usually people with Venus in Leo placements, when they're happy, they're really happy, happy-go-lucky, running about, being loud, having fun. But if they're angry, you will meet the fire flame. They can burn, fire still can burn. But with the fixed aspect as well, let's just jump back to that quickly, because this obviously, no one sign you can say, or no one type, like, oh, this person would never cheat on anybody. But as a rule, the fixed signs in particular are very committed Venus signs. It's a very committed sign to have your Venus in. So you like loyalty, you expect loyalty really from a partner, because you're very loyal, and not just to your partner, that extends out to friends, that extends out to family. Loyalty is something that you value. Being able to have that trust in someone and rapport is definitely key. And as I said, looking for more of a long-standing relationship, somebody that you can grow old with. And alongside this being a very loyal Venus sign, this actually is a sign that kind of commands respect and authority. Fire, especially with the Leo, fixed, can come across quite strong and quite firm, quite bossy in a way, to be honest. Especially depending on the other placements in your chart. But Leos do take things like loyalty and respect very seriously. They don't take disrespect well. They don't take their pride or ego being hurt very well at all. As I said, it is still a 5 Venus, so there's a level of sensitivity that can come along with that. Because of the fixed qualities that we've just kind of spoken about, how that kind of translates out into having high standards, firm belief systems, having strong values, and also high standards. This is something you're going to notice if you get in with a Venus and Leo person. They're going to have high standards, they're going to have high expectations, and they hold themselves to these high standards, which is why they're holding you to those high standards. And I think it's also because, as I said at the beginning, a lot throughout your lifetime, you probably felt as if people around you, your friends, your family, rely on you as a rock and hold you to high standards and expect a lot from you. So you're quite used to having things expected from you. But when you get into relationships with people, because you like to give it your all and you like to really give it your heart and give 110% effort into it, you might be attracting people or find that you're in relationships where you're not quite getting the same back. And it's such a big love that you guys have got to give and share, that maybe when you're looking to get with a potential partner, Venus and Leo people, that you take a step back and let them come to you, sort of thing. Because we know that you're confident and you will go after what you want, but you need to make sure that they're able to display the same amount of effort really that you're willing to give to the relationships, to take a step back and see what they're doing. Are they taking you out? Are they buying you things? Are they taking you places? Are they consistent with the effort? Or are they just doing it for, the first month and then they stop and it fizzles out? Because it's not what you need. And you can't drop your standards, Venus and Leo. It's okay to have these standards. Leo, this is regal. We're talking king and queen vibes. Royalty, it's linked with royalty, the Leo archetype. Now, look at royalty. This is elitist. This is high society. They have a certain expectation of how they should be treated. So do you, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you need to be making sure you're finding people that can meet up to your standards. Make sure you're looking at people's charts. Are they compatible with you before you even waste your time? Actually have a look at their chart. But don't drop your standards, Leo, because you need to have them. If you do drop your standards, you're not going to feel fulfilled ultimately long term, because there's things that you want and that you need. This is a Venus sign that does value being able to express themselves, and usually in a creative manner. And that is something that they're looking for in a partner, someone who feels okay and comfortable to just express themselves, not take themselves too seriously. And if they've got any creative outlets or creative hobbies, for example, you guys would really like that. You do like someone who's got a little bit about themselves, but someone who has that confidence to share the spotlight with you, because you do like to be seen. You're okay with being seen, should we say. You don't mind, and you want to be able to share that spotlight. So the potential partner that you're looking for to settle down with needs to be okay with a bit of PDA, with a bit of public affection, because you're going to want to show them off, put them all over your social media, post them everywhere. Like if you're getting with a Venus and Leo person, say, and then the person that you like, they're at work, and you'll turn up to the work like, hi babe, how you doing? Like, just so that you can show everyone else in the workplace where the person you're interested in works. So everyone else there knows that you're here, you're interested, and yeah, that's my boyfriend, this is my boyfriend. But it's important that they stand out from the crowd and that they have a bit of substance to them, because yes, I've said that you do base the initial spark is going to be based off the attraction, the physical attraction. How do they look? How do they dress? What do they drive? What job do they do? You're going to be interested in all of those things, but substance is needed. It is the opposite sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is a very deep sign, so you do need depth in your relationship. So more than just the surface level. And because it is the opposite sign to Aquarius, when a Venus and Leo person's not really feeling somebody, they can just detach from that. If you give them the ick in some way, they will just detach from that relationship and ghost people and just go cold suddenly. Like, you will no longer feel that Leo warmth. Freedom and independence is a key part of your relationships though. A key theme for you is that you are going to still need to feel an element of freedom and have your independence in a relationship. This is a male fixed sign. Fixed signs need a bit of space, but especially the male fixed fire sign will need freedom and independence. If someone tries to restrict you and stop you having fun and trying to control you, it's not really going to work for you. One of the other things that's important to know about somebody with this placement is that they will need praise, they will need attention. in relationships. This is important to them because they will give a lot of attention to their partner. They expect this to be reciprocated. So this is a Venus placement that does love to hear all the compliments. They like praise, they like affirmations, they like just positive reinforcements of how much they're loved, or how good they look on that day, or how much they've just enjoyed something that they've just gone and done together. There will be an element of reassurance and recognition that they need, but above all else, it's validation. Because wherever Leo falls in our life is going to be the area of life where we are kind of seeking validation and praise. So you have Venus sitting in this sign, so therefore you are kind of seeking the validation and praise from within your relationship. And it's not all just for vain purposes. I mean, some of it is. Some of it is for vain purposes, but not all of it. It's because they know their worth, and it's because they give a lot. They put a lot of effort into something, and they want that to be appreciated. And what's wrong with that? You're going to have someone put in a lot of effort. I really like people to be appreciated. I hate being unappreciated. It's rude. So you guys don't like being unappreciated. Similar to Venus in Cancer, Venus in Leo is more of a needier and clingier Venus placement when in a relationship. As I just said, with some of the things they're going to need with praise, recognition, admiration, they do need attention. So if you're not someone who likes to give attention or constant affirmations and reassurance to someone, then this isn't the person for you. They need to hear it because they're going to always be showering you with that. And then these are people, this is sun energy, this is sun ruled Venus sign. So wherever the sun is, the sun attracts energy without having to do that much. It just attracts. It gives us life. Who doesn't love the sun? So Venus and Leo people are not going to be short of attention. They're not going to be short of attention from other people. So if you want to keep them invested in the relationship with you, then you must be able to keep up that love and keep up that reassurance and keep up the affirmations and keep up the validation of the relationship. Venus is about how it relates to people, and Venus in Leo is this is a very relatable Venus sign, because people with this placement is you very charismatic. People just like you and take a shining to your warmth that you give off, because you like to have a laugh. You can make people feel good. You can lift people's spirits. But you like to relate to people through actions. It's a fire Venus, so you will relate through what you see, what people show you. Words are cheap. They are cheap. You like to see a bit of action and also relate through creative expression. And if we look at like the love language, what is the love language of a Venus in Leo person? Now, often these people, they're about gift giving and gift receiving. Not just gift giving. They like to receive gifts. You need to be willing to put your hand in your pocket with this sign, because this is a very generous Venus sign. Like, they will splurge out on you. Their love language is showing affection. Their love language is having a little play fight with you. You know, like, you might be standing there washing up, but Venus in here is going to come past and like smack your bum straight away. It's just something silly like that. That's their love language. They've been able to have a laugh and keeping the fun, keeping the childlike nature as part of the relationship. They're going to like taking you out, and they're going to like to express and be creative with you, because we are talking about the sign of creative expression mixing with the planet which mixing with Venus, which Venus represents the arts also. I might have missed that out at the very beginning of the video, but Venus is also art, you know, like fine arts and stuff. So you might need to creatively express yourself through art in some way, being creative. This is their love language. They might make something for you, like a scrapbook of photos of your whole relationship, for example, that's personalised, like something creative. They like to do that when they're with somebody, and random gifts as well. And it's not just with their partner, with their friends. They'll buy their friends a random gift. They're just generous. They're a generous sign. I also can imagine you guys are the emoji king and queens. I bet you love emojis when you're texting people and stuff. Like, the emojis just are an extra expression of what it is you're trying to say. So I just reckon you use emojis a lot. Let's have a look now at the different sun sign and Venus sign combinations. So if you're a Gemini sun and you've got your Venus in Leo, then this is double male energy. This is double extroverted energy that we're talking about, because they're both male signs. And Gemini suns, as a rule, you lead outwardly in life with a level of yeah, a level of logic. You are very mutable, of course, but you still like logical and practical things you can make sense of. You like to research things, you like to learn. So you lead with that mercurial energy. But when it comes to your relationships, you have a huge, big, warm heart and a little bit more softer and loving actually when it comes to relationships, because Gemini, you wouldn't necessarily describe it as super emotional. But when in a relationship, because it is fire is sensitive, as I said, you have got an emotional side when it comes to your relationships. And these both signs are concerned with having fun. You are the definition of going out and having fun with a partner, and definitely you need freedom and independence. These are both signs that are very concerned with having freedom and independence. You couldn't have that squashed. You would definitely need more substance than just the looks. You are going to be attracted, as I said, to the physical looks, but particularly because you're leading with the Gemini mercurial energy, you need someone who can hold a conversation, otherwise you will get bored very quickly of the looks. There has to be a bit more substance for Gemini Sun, Venus in Leo and in a relationship. If you're a Cancer Sun and your Venus is in Leo, then in terms of your expression, it is a little bit more introverted, of course, because it's a feminine energy. But when it comes to your relationships, you're more extroverted. So you might be a completely different person when it comes to your close personal relationships. But this is the definition of someone who is a romantic. You guys love being in a relationship. You're going to have the Cancerian qualities of love keeping a home and a family, etc., and all those things, and building and stability, but you will want to go out and have fun with your partner. This is mixing fire and water together, so it can make you very sensitive, very intuitive, but also mixing fire and water like this can make for a very explosive person when hurt. So I can imagine somebody with this placement, with this combination, that if you get hurt, you can have quite an explosive side, because your feelings are very serious to you. When you're in a relationship, you are going to expect to be the centre of someone's world completely. You're going to want 100% attention on you. Jealousy might come into play a little bit more here as well, and potentially a bit of a jealous lover here. Sort of want your partner to spend all their time with you. Might be jealous if they're spending their time with other people. But you guys definitely know how to take care of somebody. You know how to keep a house and a home, and you know how to pamper a partner and make them feel good in that aspect as well. If you're a Leo Sun and your Venus is in Leo, then this is double Leo that we're talking about here, because whenever you've got a planet that's next to your sun, it intensifies that energy. So we're talking about double Leo, male, fire, extroverted energy. So this is a more louder and prouder type person, and wherever you go, you just naturally, you radiate energy, you give energy to people. Probably walking in a room, people just look at you, you draw attention wherever you go. It's natural, you don't even have to do that much. I mean, some of you might be doing that much to get some of the attention. But as a rule, you do just attract attention. When you're in a relationship, you're definitely going to need someone who's confident, who can deal with your confidence levels, but you're going to want them to be confident, not shy, to come out, to be seen with you, to be proud. You're going to make big grand gestures of love and take them out and do things, and you're going to want them to post it and like, my baby did this for me today, I love you so much, my king, my queen, like that type of thing. You want someone to share the love with, you want someone to share your heart, to share the spotlight. You are a big kid at heart, so you definitely need someone who can have fun and doesn't take things too seriously, but who can show you the loyalty and commitment and give you the amount of effort that you give somebody else in a relationship. That's key for you guys, because you really hate, you don't like being not appreciated. Definitely not. That your pride and your ego being hurt in any way is never going to be a pretty thing, really. As I said, some more dramatic tendencies as well. In either, it might not be that you're so dramatic, or you just might attract dramatic people to you. The most drama that might happen is within your relationships with people. But people with this placement are usually big spenders. They like to, splash the cash, and they're like a partner who splashes the cash. Then not really attracted to frugalness. If you're a Virgo Sun and your Venus is in Leo, then similar to the Cancer Sun, Venus in Leo in terms of your expression, it is more introverted, a little bit more quieter, shy, because it is feminine. However, when it comes to your relationships, this is where you're more extroverted and might be a different person when it comes to your relationships. But similar to the Gemini Sun and Venus in Leo, you are a Mercury ruled Sun person, aren't you? So you deal with rational and logical, being logical and being practical and all of those things. But when it it comes to relationships, that is where you do lead with a lot of heart and passion and warmth. Now, typically someone with Sun in Virgo will like to see a level of consistency of a potential partner before really committing, would like to ask all the questions. Virgo Sun's going to ask all the questions and know all of the details before they get with somebody. But in a relationship, you really do appreciate someone who is consistent, who can stick to a plan. You're going to appreciate cleanliness. You're not going to want, if you were eyeing somebody up, for example, a potential partner, you went round to see their place and it was an absolute chaos, you'd be like, no, it's just not going to be for you. You might prefer to be quite in charge actually when it comes to your relationships, and you wouldn't want to be attracting somebody that was too introverted, even though you have got an introverted side to you. But in your relationships and what you value doing is more extroverted. So you do have a fun-loving nature and a bit of an adventure seeker. So you need a partner that can be about that life as well. And you might not be so much as the big spenders that we talk about with Leo, because Leo is like retail therapy. They are Leo archetypes, the ones that are like, I just need some real therapy today. But with the Virgo Suns, the things that you might spend on will be more like on the little things to make things better, the little things, really thoughtful little gifts for your partner, for example, or little things to do with home improvements or spending on health in some way, just maybe a little bit more conscious with the spending. If your Sun is in Libra and your Venus is in Leo, then this is double male energy that we're talking about here, because they are both extroverted and they are actually sex signs in terms of order of the zodiac, so they work well together. And as a rule, outwardly you like to be very peaceful and harmonious and balanced, but in relationships might be where a little bit more drama comes to you, or attract more dramatic people to you. But when dating, these people are going to like to be taken out for sure and wined and dined in a fancy, beautiful environment, a place fit for a king or queen. You will be concerned with how your potential partner looks, how they dress, because you're very concerned with your image. You look really nice all the time. I can imagine you find any reason to look good. You can find a reason in anything to get dressed up. So you will be concerned with how your partner is and how they dress, how they smell, how they act, how they carry themselves in public. These are all going to be important things to you. I'd imagine somebody with this placement may mix with like the higher society in life, or be more comfortable mixing with those higher circle, but being at like art galleries or like an opera, for example, just more of an appreciation really of the arts, mixing these two here, because obviously Venus rules Libra, which is your sun sign, and when your Venus placement is in Leo, so it's going to be linking the creative arts in some way, in expression. So this is going to be something important that you are able to do in a relationship, and that somebody can show you. You wouldn't be too comfortable around someone that's too quiet. You couldn't have somebody too introverted, because you want to be able to share the spotlight. Now, Libra is a people-pleasing sign. It does like to relate to people, let's be honest. But when we are mixing, we're mixing fire and air here. So and Libra's very, very charming, and fire's got a lot of passion. So you can be very relatable to other people. People really probably bounce off your energy. It's not hard for you to make friends and make connections here. Let's have a look at money. So of course, this is a fixed Venus sign here. So fixed signs, these are the hard workers, these are grafters. You guys like money. You are motivated to go out and earn your own money. Very important. You do like to earn your own money. You understand the power of having your own money. You understand the power that other people's money has got. You just understand money, and you want it because you have an eye for luxury, don't you? You don't mind spoiling yourself. I doubt it's very often that a Venus in Leo, when they really want something, it's like, no, we'll wait. You'll be like, I've worked so hard, I'm going to get that. You might just kind of feel like you deserve things really, but you think money is there to enjoy, not to sit there and save and be really frugal. You probably not really like frugal people. It's not your language. I mean, unless of course you've got heavy Taurus, Capricorn energy going on in your chart, then maybe you are a little bit more frugal. But as a rule, these are the retail therapy kings and queens of the zodiac. They do like to spend, but of course, to spend money, you need to earn it. So let's look at what you need in a job. What do you need? You definitely need to be, or preferably you would prefer to be in a position of power, a position of management. You don't really do so well being the one being bossed around and told what to do. You do well being being the boss, telling people what to do, something that enables you to incorporate your personality, not something that doesn't let you shine and be seen, because you've got a big personality here. This is big personality vibes, and you want something that can incorporate that into your work. As I said earlier, the Leo, Venus in Leo will have an air of authority about them and respect that they can command, and people follow fire. So this is why you'd be good, really good in a position of leadership, because people will follow fire. Fire signs have an ability to just speak life into people and motivate them to get up and go. So there's many different things that you can turn your hands at. But let's have a look at a few of them now. Of course, it is going to depend on the other things in your chart. This is just a general look at some of the things that you could be. And of course, Venus is not the only money indicator in the chart. No, there's a few more things we need to be taken into consideration here. Like, what have you got in your second house, sixth house, 10th house? What's going on? Where are the rulers of those signs as well? How are they aspected? This is how you build up a really big picture of the money. But for now, let's just start and have a look at some of the possible jobs for you guys. So anything to do with being creative. We're talking about the sign of creative expression. Anything that allows you to express creatively, whether it be arts, theatre, music, dancing, singing, being a writer, just anything that creates, you'd be very, very good at. Anything to do like being a business coach, for example. As I said, fire is very, very motivating. You could motivate businesses and turn them around, turn a business that's not doing so well and turn it into a really good performing business. Being some sort of sales coach for sales teams and companies, going in and motivating them on how they could be better and improve. Anything to do with teaching. Leos would be a very, very good teacher. They have the ability to spark that initial thought into somebody else. It's also that represents House of Children, Leo does, doesn't it? Of course, has a good energy and rapport with children. People will listen. And you've got enough of a childlike nature to still relate to children like that and probably make teaching fun. Some of probably the best teachers we had fun with, if you think back to your school days, the ones that were really funny and had a laugh and weren't too serious, might have been the Leo. Venus and Leo archetypes. Leo, of course, is a high energy sign, something to do with being like a personal trainer or in fitness in some way, or anything to do with just the celebrity world, you know, being a manager of celebrities, for example, organising promotions, parties, being hosting venues for where celebrities come, just something to do with that limelight world, being a social influencer. Being a social influencer, jumping on many different platforms, making videos, making people laugh, or motivating people to try new things, or even going back to the celebrity example for, like, I can see someone with Venus and Leo, a male with Venus and Leo, being like a security guard for a celebrity, for example, because they love to protect and they like to be seen for it. Seeing how strong they are. And because Leos don't really like being told what to do, being your own business owner, being an entrepreneur, running your own business might be what's key for you, where you can just be in charge and be the boss, because you like to earn the big bucks. You like to earn the big bucks, something that's going to bring you in the money so that you can fund the lavish lifestyle that you want, so that you can shower your partner with gifts, so you can show how much you love people through what you've got, what you've earned, what you can spend on someone. I'm going to finish up now and just quickly talk through progressions and transits, because for some of you, not all, but for some of you, your Venus at some point may progress into Virgo, and then your love language is going to change completely. So have a little look into that. Where are you at? What stage are you at in life now? Because your love language can change and what you're looking for in a relationship will change. And in terms of transits, what's happening in the sky right now in comparison to what's happening in your birth chart? Yes, the birth chart is very interesting to look at, but the transits are influencing what is happening in our day to day. And right now, as we speak, as of, I think it was the 5th of June, Venus entered into Leo. Literally, you guys, Venus right now in the sky. 5th of June 2023, Venus entered into Leo, and it's going to be staying there for a longer period of time than usual, because it's going to go retrograde on the 22nd of June for 40 days and 14 nights. So where is the Leo sitting in your chart? What house is that sitting in? How is it aspected? Have a look. What themes are going to be brought back to you from 2015, because Venus retrogrades in the same sign every 8 years. This time the transit's slightly different because it is aspecting to Uranus, so there might be something a little bit more unpredictable and sudden about the transit, but just an important thing to look out for transits too. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. That was my video on Venus in Leo. If there's anything that I said that you liked or could relate to, then drop me a like. Thank you guys for watching. If you've got to this point of the video, if you've been watching a few of my videos now and you get to this point, considering subscribing and coming along with me on my astro journey through YouTube, because it helps me grow. I'm trying to grow out here. The algorithm's real. So if you liked anything here over with me, consider hitting the like button. I think I've just said that like 3 times, but there we go. And anyway, let's leave it there, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Coming up, we're going to be talking about Venus in Virgo.